Oh, is this thing? Anyway, what's going on for you, Leos? How y'all doing? Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. If you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, when you actually went to go click the link in the comment section below, I provide everything from tarot card readings, birth chart readings. I have books that are on Amazon. A lot of people ask me like, okay, what are some of the books? Well, in one of the books, I talk about magic, right? For all the people who are really deep into mysticism, I talk about the clip-off, okay, and how to actually, what the clip-off means and how to actually be triumphant in the clip-off, little section of it. Then another element of it, a lot of people was asking me to talk about love because they want to know. So I talked about love. It's called Love Pays the Bills. A lot of times people think that you got to be poor in order to be in love. And that's actually one of the fastest ways towards generational wealth. And the other one is our history, right? Our, you know, the real history. But anyway, oh, I got paid a dividend from the stock that I own. Oh, okay. I got paid a dividend. Okay. Anyway, so for you, Leos, you had the Seven of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Knight of of Pentacles. I'm getting paid all over the place from these stocks. Anyway, for you, Leos, a lot of you, Leos, I'm seeing that you've completely changed your life around. The Seven of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Knight of Pentacles pretty much says the entire story. The Seven of Pentacles speaks to how you, Leos, you were beasts of burden. You felt like you put all of this emphasis on your back to try to become what society thought that you should, or it says that you should become. And what I mean when I say society, I'm talking about what society thought that you should become, in the element of like, you, Leo, should be suave and debonair and radioactive, in the sense of like fly, you know, player, you know, gangster and all this other stuff, right? Like good with the, you know what I mean? Just good socially, desired, right? You should be at the top of the food chain, the top of the socioeconomic, you know, ladder and all this other type of stuff. I'm trying to fix this camera, y'all. Anyway, at the top of the socioeconomic ladder. And a lot of you, Leos, was putting this kind of responsibility on your shoulders in the first place. But the problem with it, the problem with that is you understood from life experience that that's not what was gonna happen. That's not, things weren't turning out like that, because you realized that the game is rigged. The game is rigged, right? Like, people don't want to be in relationships. Like you Leos was coming up thinking that, yeah, some people are going to be playing games, mind games with each other. But then at the same time, it's not necessarily really going to be that. What it is you're really going to be in a situation where you would eventually find the right person for you. And the Tower now represents, it's a huge news flash, because like I said before, you realize that things didn't really turn out like that at all. Because here you Leos are, right? People don't like smart people. The popular culture is people don't like smart people. You know, I was watching a movie the other day. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of it, right? Nick Cannon is in it. Shout outs to Nick Cannon. Don't sue me. But I was watching a movie called Love Don't Cost a Thing, with him and Christina Milian, right? Or Milian, right? Milian. And she's beautiful. Anyway, that was kind of like your story, right? Like, love doesn't cost a thing to show, but yet people found it so hard for them to show you any kind of love. you know, it just seemed like it was the same person after the other, the same person, the same individual, right? One after the other. It was always, you're trying to get to know somebody, and it's like they're just wasting your time, right? They're trying to get you to chase up on after them and jump through these hoops. And you Leos, anyone who knows Leo know that Leos are usually when the Leos are at their worst, the Leos want someone to chase up on after them instead of them doing the chasing, right? And maybe even play a little bit of games with somebody, but ultimately, you Leos, when you are at your worst, when your mind and your heart are not in the correct place, y'all want somebody to chase up on after you, right? The cat doesn't want the mouse chasing, you don't want someone, the point is, you don't want to chase someone. You want someone to chase you. You want someone to come to you, right? But then it changes, because now that you Leos understand the name of the game, that the way that people talk about the game, the truth is it's nihilism, because no one is winning. It's about allowing yourself to being used and being someone's sponsor. It's loveless. There is no real long-term benefit. It's all short-term, all of it. The whole game as we know it is all short-term gain. Sacrificing long-term gain that you could have with someone for short-term gain, because that's the sacrifice. You want to keep running after fresh, new, whatever, instead of being with one person that, you know, that you can actually trust. So you understand that now. And it's crazy, right? The Tower is saying that I'm you know, understanding it. It's crazy because the Knight of Pentacles, you were kind of down a little bit because they were wasting your time, but you Leos have essentially switched, because y'all are putting yourselves out there and you are getting to know brand new people. You're going out on dates. A lot of you Leos are actually getting to know people, going out on these dates, talking to them, trying to find out what they are about. Because a lot of you, right, Strength card, you have the Strength card, which is Leo. So you showed up in your own reading anyway. And because you Leos understand that it doesn't stop. You know, if you Leos legitimately want to find someone that you could be connected with, then it's going to, like I said, it's going to take some digging. It's not something that's going to essentially come to you so immediately, because so many people, especially here in the West, you know, a lot of people playing games. You know, I come, you know what I'm saying? Like, I come here so many times and I have said that I don't chase. I will put in an effort. Yeah, I'll put in effort, but I'm not going to sit up here and chase anybody. And yet I still have individuals, or still had, I should say, individuals in the, well, yeah, I guess you could say have, but I still have individuals that even when I'm not, they're misconstruing it. I'm not necessarily chasing up on after them like that. I'm talking to them, I'm feeling them out, I'm trying to see what time it is and stuff like this. Just, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know whether or not I'm interested in them long term like that. I'm just talking to them as of right now. But I'm trying to see what it is that they are about. And they completely ruin it because they're trying to get me to chase up on after them. And they squander it. So it's like, this is the type of mind games that you have out here, Leo. And that's what it is. That's what you learned as well. And you realize that you will have to continue to date. The Five of Swords represents you just have to cut anyone off that wants to act like they don't hear you or understand you. And you're right. You Leo should be cutting off people that want to act like they don't understand you. Because at the end of the day, you know, kind of pop my collar a little bit, because at the end of the day, ultimately, you know, you come to your own conclusion, in the sense that you Leos really understand what time it is. That ultimately, you're not supposed to be chasing up after somebody. Like, if a person isn't, you know, especially if you have something to do, and especially if you have a plan. If you have self-respect and you have a plan, you legitimately have things to do, and you have a purpose and stuff like this, yeah, you're not going to be chasing up after somebody, because number one, the only type of people who spends all their time chasing up after somebody, their priorities are off. Because what it's saying is that they legitimately don't have anything to do. They have no place to be, which is a loser. That's kind of a bum, not a vagrant, a bum. Because they don't have any other purpose other than to try to sniff up behind, no pun intended, but sniff up behind somebody else. You know what I mean? And then not only that too, but if you have things to do throughout the day, you have variety. And what I mean when I say variety, right? What I mean when I say variety, I'm talking about from a perspective of like, variety from a perspective of like, you have things to do. Like, you're not just doing one thing all day long. You know what I mean? Like, you know, on like, for instance, on certain days, I'm not gonna give y'all all the game with me, but, you know, have someone know all my moves. But on certain days, it just really depends on what day it is. I do certain things on certain days, you know. So on Wednesdays, like today, which is when I'm recording it, but you'll see it on Thursday. What I spent my day doing was making videos, talking to some people, right, who know me from the channel, you know, some supporters, and cleaning my room, you know, spending time with my family, you know what I mean? The time that I have with them, and just cleaning my room as I'm talking to them and socializing in my residence. But it's like certain days I have certain things to do on certain days, right? So it's like, if a person doesn't understand that, and like they're trying to like box me in, I don't know what to tell them. And that's the same kind of thing for you, right? Five of Swords. You're gonna stay away from anybody who acts like a weirdo, because the moon represents, you know, it's difficult. It's going to be very difficult for you Leos to balance out having variety in your life, and then at the same time still trying to get to know someone who wants to get you caught up on mind games. So you Leos understand at that point it's time for you to bounce, because there are no winners here in this situation. The Eight of Swords now and the Knight of Cups is all about how, you know, since that's the case, a lot of you Leos understand that you have a better chance at just being single than to hang around somebody that just wants to waste your time and get your attention all day. Just wants to waste your time and get your attention all day. You know what I mean? The Ten of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles is all about how, because you're really looking for someone that is true blue. You know, that's true. That's very much so caught up with reality, very in touch with, excuse me, reality, and in tune with their reality, instead of being delusional all day. You know, you Leos want to be able to actually build that generational wealth, but a person has to be on the same page, you know. And I talked about this in my book. Like, this is why it is I say that 50-50 relationships are so important. It's because if one person is expecting the other person to do all the bills and, you know, spend money on all the bills, and then they sitting up there talking about how it is that they want generational wealth, this is the reason why it is that you have a large group of people going after a relatively small group of people, or smaller group of people. It's because they understand that it's impossible. They understand how delusional they actually are, right? For an example, they understand how delusional they are because they're charging up these people that they are on the same level with. They're charging, I ain't even gonna say the same level, but they're charging up certain people and be like, well, why aren't you rich? And it's like, not everybody in the world, the way that this economic system has become, not everybody in the world can be rich. Well, first and foremost, you need to have land in order for you to legitimately. But see, that requires a family. You understand what I'm saying? And then not only that too, but you know, when you talk about generational wealth and all of that other type of stuff, when you sitting up there talking about generational wealth, that's going to take two people. Because if you're talking about building the generation, it doesn't matter whether or not you're talking about building the generational wealth or maintaining it. It's still going to take two. Because like I said before, and I hope Rothschild don't sue me. I hope Rothschild don't even see this video. But like the people like the Rothschild family and the Walton family and these families and stuff like this, right? Excuse me, these families and stuff like this, right? These people, right? Their wives are rich. The husband is rich. You dig what I'm saying? Like in the Rothschilds don't marry somebody unless they're rich. So they had their own bread too. So it adds to the pot. Don't believe me? Do the research. Do the research to it. Like some of these people that the Rothschilds, that the ones who have my anatomy be marrying, you hear them. Their names be the Duchess of this, the Duchess of this, the Baroness of this, the this and that, the third. They be having titles. They be having titles, right? That's a whole other topic for another day as to where the titles come from. But they be having titles, which means that they be rich. You understand what I'm saying? They come from these families where these families already have generational wealth, and they get together and they put the money in the pot, and then they both add it up together. Because if I have $17, you have $17, 50-50, we both make 34. What's 17 plus 17? 34, right? I'm nice with my math. So the thing about it is that with that, right, with that is that even when it comes to the Walton family, you know, now from my understanding, both the husband and the wife built those Walmart shopping centers together. You know, they both put in their own work, their own way to actually build this shopping mall empire. You know, again, I hope they don't sue me. The point is, the point is, right, is that they understood the assignment. And so that's the situation for you Leos. You Leos understand the assignment. You're looking for someone that you actually can build that generational wealth with. Because I understand how generational wealth is built. Because you have to understand that these people be having beneficiaries to their stocks. All their assets, they have beneficiaries, meaning people that they could pass it on to in the event of their passing. But guess what? You need a family in order to have that type of stuff. People who you could genetically, who you could pass this type of stuff on to, that you are genetically related to, because it's all in the family anyway. But when you have people who want to be hard-headed, who want to sit there and make up excuses their whole life, 20, 30, 40, 50, getting older, passing on, right? Making the transition. Then another group of individuals pop up, crop up, doing the same thing. It's like, stop complaining about generational wealth. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that a lot of you Leos understand, right? Other people need to stop complaining about generational wealth, because you Leos understand the assignment, the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles. You understand the assignment, but other people don't. This is why, like I said, this is why there's this race towards the smaller group of individuals who have millions of dollars, because they're in the 1%, which is the smaller pool of individuals, because people who are flocking to them knows that, people who are flocking to them knows, that they can afford financially. But the thing about them that they don't know is they have to have a reason for spending their riches. They just can't go out and spend endlessly. Then they're going to owe that. Like, for instance, you can't be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company and then spending all the company's budget out, which, you know what I'm saying, of $1 trillion. You're going to go to, you might end up losing your job on the low end of punishment. On the high end of punishment, you might go to jail. Because what it looks like is, it looks like embezzlement. So let's clarify. So let's clarify the Eight of Pentacles. The Moon, Four of Wands, Six of Cups, ooh, Two of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. So what this is right here, to clarify the Eight of Pentacles, the Moon and the Four of Wands is about how, like, this is about you staying quiet and ghosting, still getting to know some people. Let me make that known. You're still going to get to know people. But however, once you start to see the stupidness come out of them trying to get you to chase, desperate for them trying to do dumb stuff, trying to get your attention, reaction seeking, you're going to leave them alone. Because the Four of Wands, you don't need any distraction. The Six of Cups and the Two of Swords represents, so if you Leos have been going through that recently, right, with brand new people, I'm not even talking about oldies, I'm talking about brand new people. Expect to get a phone call from somebody that you just started to cut off, or you just they are in your not so distant past, because they're sitting there trying to figure out what exactly is it, what happened. And they know what happened, but they want to continue to play the stupid games. They know that you Leos decided to stop talking to them in the first place. They decided to play a stupid game, and they want a stupid prize. But the Two of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles represents cold. Cold. Cold, because the Two of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles represents, they're going to try, the Two of Swords is them, they're going to try to play stupid, but the Ace of Pentacles represents, you Leos know what time it is, and you know that time is money.